all those updates. We are moving on now to some other stories. According to the IMF spokesperson, Julie Kozack, the International Monetary Fund views India's economic performance as strong and resilient. Kozack has said that the country remains a key growth engine for the global economy. Speaking at a media briefing on January 15th, Kozack said that the IMF may revise its growth forecast for India upwards in the near term. Kozack also noted that the latest economic data from India has come in stronger than expected, reinforcing the country's role as a major driver of global growth. Let's in fact listen into what the IMF spokesperson has said.
What we have seen in India is that India is a key growth engine for the world. India's growth in 2025, when we did our Article 4 staff report, we had estimated growth for fiscal year 25-26 at 6.6%, which is based on strong consumption growth. What we have seen since then is that the third quarter growth in India came out stronger than expected, and that puts that makes it likely that we will be upgrading our forecast going forward. So, and we have our January WEO update coming in the next few days, so we will have a revised growth number for India at that time. But I think the bottom line for us on India is that it has been a key driver of global growth, and growth has been quite robust.
Dr. Sharad Kohli, senior economist, is in fact joining us on the broadcast to help us understand what this means for India. Dr. Kohli, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. So when we are looking at the IMF, the spokesperson over here has said that they might be looking at revising that growth forecast that they had done for India. The economic data that has come in Q3 from India has been very strong, stronger than expected. So how do you look at these statements, sir?
Good afternoon, Shivani, to you and NewsX viewers. I think it's a matter of pride for every Indian for those kind of remarks, and I would call them compliments coming from IMF. We saw a similar kind of compliment coming from World Bank a couple of days ago. I think this speaks volumes about the efforts made by the government of India over the last decade, or probably a little bit more than a decade, in carrying out various reforms, and with India becoming the fourth largest economy, with India crossing 4.18 trillion mark in terms of the total GDP. I think it categorically converts and takes India in the next league of nations, even though India may not be contributing a substantial part of the global GDP, which today stands at $110 trillion. But then India serves as a growth engine, as is being remarked by the IMF official, that India is driving the world growth. It is pertinent to note here that the world is growing at this point of time at nearly 2.5%. And some of the most developed economies, or shall I say so-called developed economies, they are barely growing. In fact, a lot of them are in recession. So in that scenario, India growing 3 times the rate of the global GDP is a very, very remarkable achievement. And I think take all economic parameters, Shivani. We take our purchase managers index, we take our forex reserves, we take our tax collections. Whichever way you want to count, I mean, it is indicative. It is not that the country is bereft of any economic problems, but when you read these numbers, you read them in overall perspective. I think India is a matter of envy for anyone across the world. In fact, I would like to put it on a different note here. That a lot of strictures being passed against India, or a lot of partisan kind of policies being done against India, is somewhat coming out of envy from some of the Western powers. I don't want to name anyone here. But I think India is an apple of the eye, I would put it in a different way, and a shining star across the world economy, Shivani.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Kohli, for that valuable perspective on that issue. We are shifting our attention